Okay, so already gone ahead and fill up all these gap or all these hole by using extrude or just fill up hole. Then you use the split polygon to kind of like connect all the line. And if there is any line that like this, you can actually insert edge, right? So that way the polygon size is kind of roughly the same size as his friend next to it. Okay, because right now this polygon is kind of big. Okay, feel free to add and delete line as needed. Okay, so the idea of this is we're trying to get the shape kind of match with the reference picture. Okay, so I have to select all these, snap it. Okay, so we're trying to make everything nice and smooth. That kind of match with the the reference picture. So you probably need to rotate around. I mean, this is still far from finish. As you can see, this model has a lot of creases that we have to fix it, especially around this area. Okay, so there is a crease there, there's a crease there, there's a little bump that we don't need it. Okay, so what we want is we're trying to get the face nice and smooth. Okay, so you have a nice and cartoon feel. So there's a lot of refining that yet to be done. Okay, and all this refining is just moving vertex and such. Okay, you can also use the other tool like the smooth tool, right? So this smooth tool works kind of similar with the average tool, but rather you kind of like painting like, oh yeah, painting on the surface of the object. So let's, okay, I think it's too big, so I'm gonna choose the 0.2. Right, maybe 0.1, 0.5, right? And kind of like smooth. If it's easier for you, feel free to use this tool, right? But I find like I want to use the average vertices on this area more, so I have more control over the individual vertex. Now, I'm probably gonna come back and do this refining later, but on this stage, I'm gonna show you how to do the head sculpt, rather. Okay, now I already gone and import the ear already, as you can see. And the next bit that we can do with this is that we're gonna create this human head sculpt. Okay, now if you look at the shape, right, this kind of resemble the very basic primitive, which is the sphere, and we can create this shape by cutting the sphere in half, right, and create this little hole for you to place the ear. Okay? So I think it's a much faster way than we actually extrude all these edge one by one, okay, or all these face one by one, because once you get the sphere, you can just easily delete half of that. Now, coming back here, we probably kind of need to guess where the sphere are supposed to be placed. So if this is the ear area, so your sphere is probably somewhere there. Okay, and all these lines are coming from the ear. Okay, going through the scalp, right, to the back of the scalp, and eventually stop somewhere there. Okay, there might be some adjustment that you have to make, because usually this part of the scalp is smaller than the front or around this area. Okay, and the very first thing we have to do is we have to count how many vertex are actually coming from the ear, because we try to match again the scalp that we're gonna put in with less effort as possible, right? We don't want case where you have too many line or too much or too less line. So we're trying to kind of like guess how many vertex are coming from the ear or how many edge lah, basically. Okay. So for this ear, let's count how many vertex are we gonna connect. This one probably gonna connect with this guy. So I think starting from this rather. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 8. Right. So we're going to need to create a sphere with 8 division. Now, if you type 8 like this, it's wrong because this sphere contain like both sides. So you have to times this by 2. So if it's 8, that means it's going to be 16. Okay, because we need to cut this in half, right? Because we don't need the other half. So I'm going to make this a bit smaller. Alright. And kind of rotate or position this sphere to be like this. Maybe I'm going to maybe somewhere there. Alright. And while we're still adjusting, don't forget you also need to count how many vertex are coming from the front portion. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe around 7, in which relate to this subdivision. So you might need to adjust this value if you really want to match yeah, the front bit. Okay, but I think I already add enough yeah, subdivision, luckily. So let's delete the unneeded part. So maybe somewhere there, yes. And again, as you can see, like the placement of the ear or the placement of these little hole that you have here is not exactly in the same spot as in the ear. So that's when we have to actually move these or adjust it manually. I'm gonna tap B. B is a shortcut for soft select. So when I tap B, I'll get something like this. Okay. So in this mode, you can actually move the vertex kind of like together, right? As opposed compared to this one. Okay. So because you only move whatever are being selected currently. Okay. So by using B, I can kind of like move all these vertex, and eventually like it does not have any effect around this area. Okay, so yellow kind of indicate like I can move these the most, and try my best to kind of like place these around the ear region, probably somewhere there, and maybe this. Okay, so this soft select is kind of handy for things like adjusting, right? And then you can turn off this soft select by pressing or tapping B. Okay, everything seems nice. And I can kind of like delete. Okay, so I'll get exactly half. And again, there's a lot of adjustment that need to be done, because right now like the sphere is way off from the reference picture. So I can select all these vertex. Pressing B. Right, you can increase by holding B and move your mouse. Kind of like push the probably all the way here. Okay, and again, this one also probably need to be adjusted. I think the head is way too big, so we're gonna need to push this downward. Maybe this smaller. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so a lot of things to be done. But yeah, this is how I do the human scalp with kind of like minimal effort as compared to extruding all these faces one by one. Okay, I think from here, you kind of try to match the vertex. Hopefully you get enough, we get it correct. There. Let's see. How are we gonna connect because if we have too much line, we can easily delete. Okay, seems like we have too much line. So okay, we can just like go to edge and delete all this line. You probably need that one, because if we delete this one, it will give me that kind of like very flat look. Okay, so sorry, this one can be pushed to the side. This one like this, and all these can be pushed a little bit downward. Okay, so a lot of adjustment, a lot of moving vertex. But you get the idea, right? So for now, we're just going to place this there and place this there and see how this turn out. But we have to come in now, fix this eventually. Okay, I just want to check, see if everything's okay. Now, kind of need to add one more division here, so that way we can shape the back of the ear a bit better. I know. We need to sculpt this a bit more, so we need to use Harish places. Okay, and then we can connect these, we can combine, then match all the vertex. Combine, so it's one piece now, and this can be merged, merge there, merge there. Now, with this, I can have an option to go around all the way to the back, because this polygon is still kind of big, or I have an option to go all the way to the back, right, all the way to the back, or I have an option to kind of like stop here and make this shape, so that way I don't have to go all the way to the back, and all the polygon around this area is actually a quartz, like that. And this just need to be pushed to the side, to the middle.